The planet Vethra Prime was not like any world humans had visited before. Its skies were a deep violet, streaked with rivers of glowing light that shimmered like molten glass. The mountains rose jagged and tall, and the deserts glowed faintly with crystals that hummed when the wind passed over them. It was beautiful, yes, but it was also dangerous. Many who had come here before had never left. At the center of Vethra Prime, hidden among cliffs that fell sharply into glowing valleys, was the city of the Vorn. The Vorn were the ruling species, tall and strong with skin that shimmered under the light like metal. They had sharp eyes, faster reflexes, and strength that humans could only dream of. But what made them feared across the galaxy was not their power. It was their queen, Sarathia. No one dared go near her after the sun sank below the horizon. There were countless stories about the nights when she walked alone. Warriors who tried to approach her chamber vanished. Diplomats who thought they could negotiate at night never returned. People whispered that she carried a venom in her blood that could kill anyone instantly. Some said she could see the hearts of those who came before her, judging their courage and fear with a glance. Eli Grant did not know these stories. He was a soldier from Earth, part of the Terran Union, sent as a guard for the human delegation. His job was simple: protect the diplomats, keep them safe, and report any threats. But curiosity had always been part of him. He had spent his life exploring new worlds and learning about alien cultures. The danger of Vethra Prime only made him more determined to understand it. The city of the Vorn was like nothing Eli had ever seen. The buildings were carved from glowing stone, tall and sharp-edged with bridges that hung over deep chasms. Light flowed from crystal towers, reflecting in the rivers of molten rock below. Everywhere he looked, there were guards, tall, muscular Vorn, watching silently. Their eyes seemed to pierce through him, reading his every thought. When night came, Eli found himself wandering near the cliffs that led to the Queen's palace. He had not meant to. The wind had pushed him, and the paths were tricky to navigate. But there it was, a massive building carved into the cliffside, more beautiful and terrifying than anything he had imagined. Its doors were enormous and no light came from inside. Only the faint glow of the cliffs lit its edges. Eli stopped. He could feel the power of the Queen even from a distance. The air seemed heavier here and the silence was strange and deep. He had heard that no human, or anyone else, had ever entered after nightfall and come back alive. Every story he had ever heard in the briefings flashed in his mind. Yet something inside him pushed him forward. It was not arrogance. It was not a desire to die. It was a need to see, to know, to understand. The guards saw him immediately. They were fast, moving like shadows across the cliffs, and before he could react, they surrounded him. Each held a long blade, and their eyes glowed in the dim light. Eli raised his hand slowly, showing that he was not a threat. "You should not be here," one of them said in a deep voice. His words were harsh, but his tone was calm. "I know," Eli said. "I didn't mean to—" Silence. The guard's eyes narrowed. "You are close to the Queen's chamber. One more step and you will regret it." Eli nodded. "I understand." He turned to leave, but a strange feeling held him. Something told him that the Queen herself had sensed him. He could not explain it. It was as if the shadows themselves had eyes. Then a voice spoke, not from any guard, but from the doors themselves. It was smooth and strong, carrying a strange power. "Do not fear, human." Eli froze. His heart pounded in his chest. He looked at the massive doors. No one could see anyone through them. "Who's there?" he asked. His voice sounded small in the night. "I am Sarathia," the voice said. "The Queen you have heard of. Step closer if you wish, or turn away forever." Eli took a deep breath. His mind screamed at him to leave, to turn and run, but his feet moved forward anyway. He did not know why he obeyed. Something about the voice felt curious. It was not cruel or angry. It was interested, like a predator studying a new creature. The doors opened slowly, making a sound like the wind over glass. Light spilled out in a strange golden glow, and Eli stepped inside. The room was immense. Its walls were carved from crystal and metal, glowing faintly from within. The air was warm and smelled faintly of spices and ozone. He could feel energy here, a power that hummed beneath the surface like a living thing. And then he saw her. Sarathia was unlike any being he had ever seen. She was tall, taller than any human, with skin that shimmered like silver in the golden light. Her hair fell in long glowing strands, moving as if alive. Her eyes were gold, bright and sharp, and they seemed to look right through him. She did not move at first. She simply watched him, silent and unblinking. "You are not afraid?" she asked, her voice softer now. "Even after hearing what they say about me?" Eli hesitated. He had no lie prepared. "I'm afraid, but fear does not control me." Her gaze sharpened, and for a moment he thought she might strike him down, but she did not. Instead, she smiled, a small, quiet smile that made the energy in the room shift. It was a smile that spoke of power, of knowledge, of things humans could not begin to understand. "You are different," she said. "Most who come here tremble or beg for mercy. Listen, you do not grovel," Eli swallowed. "I respect power, but I also respect truth." She studied him longer, her golden eyes never leaving his face. "Curiosity brought you here," she said finally. "Not arrogance, not fear. That is rare among your kind." "I want to understand," Eli admitted. "I want to know what it is like to live in a place like this. To see what you see." Sarathia tilted her head slightly. "And what do you think, human? Do you believe you can handle it?" "I don't know," he said honestly. "I only know I want to try." For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she stepped forward. Each movement was graceful and deliberate, like a predator moving through its territory. "Very well," she said. "Come closer. But know this, many have tried and all have failed. You are not like them yet. But one wrong move and you will not survive the night." Eli nodded. "I understand." The chamber grew warmer as she moved toward him. The glow around her intensified, and he could feel energy brushing against his skin. It was not painful, but it was strange and powerful. He had never experienced anything like it. "You are human," she said softly. "That alone is enough to make you unusual. Your kind survives through hope, through willpower. But the question is, can you survive through fear? Can you survive being tested?" "I will try," Eli said. His voice was steady, though his heart raced. Sarathia's smile returned, faint but real. "We shall see," she said. "Many have come here thinking they could match me. Most leave broken or not at all, but you may be the first to change that." Eli took a deep breath. He could feel the tension around him, the anticipation of something monumental. He did not know what the night would bring, only that he had crossed a line no human had before. He was here, in the presence of the alien queen, alive and unafraid. The Vorn guards outside waited tensely, expecting screams, blood, or worse. But inside there was only a strange quiet. The energy in the chamber flowed around him, alive and powerful. And Eli realized that this night would be unlike anything he had ever known. For the first time, the alien queen had noticed a human, not as prey, not as an invader, but as something different, something curious, brave, and perhaps even worthy. The night had only begun. Eli's mind raced as he stepped further into the queen's chamber. The light around Sarathia seemed alive, flowing like water over her silver skin. Every step he took made the floor hum softly, a sound that vibrated in his chest. He felt as if the palace itself was watching him, judging him, testing him. Sarathia did not speak for a moment. She moved slowly, deliberately, circling him like a predator assessing its prey. Her golden eyes studied every inch of him, every twitch of his hands, every quick glance he made. But there was no anger in her gaze. There was curiosity, and that made him even more tense. "You have entered my chamber at night," she said finally. Her voice was soft, but it carried an authority that made the hair on his neck stand up. "You know the risks, human?" "I know," Eli said. He tried to keep his voice steady, but he could feel it tremble just slightly. "But I also know that fear cannot rule me. I will not run from the truth, no matter what it is." Her eyes narrowed. "Most who say that are either fools or dead." She paused, studying him again. "And yet, you are still here." "I am here," Eli said, "because I want to understand you, your people, and this place. Not because I seek glory or power." A faint smile appeared on her lips. "Curiosity without arrogance," she said. "Very well, human. If you wish to stay, you must prove yourself." Eli swallowed hard. He had expected a test, but he had not known it would be like this. "Prove myself how?" he asked. "You will face the night of truth," Sarathia said. "It is a challenge that all who enter my chamber must face. Some do not survive. Some do not leave the same. Are you willing?" Eli hesitated. His mind flashed with all the warnings he had heard. The stories, the whispers, the legends of those who had tried and failed. But something inside him would not let him turn back. He nodded slowly. "I am willing." Sarathia's eyes brightened. "Then let the night begin." The chamber seemed to shift. Light flowed across the walls, forming shapes and shadows that moved like living creatures. The floor beneath him glowed, and Eli realized that he was standing on a platform of crystal that floated slightly above the ground. A soft hum filled the air, vibrating in his bones. "Close your eyes, human," Sarathia said, "or you will see what most cannot survive." Eli hesitated, but then obeyed. The world around him dissolved into darkness. At first it was complete black. He could hear nothing but his own heartbeat. Then the darkness shifted and shapes appeared. Strange, glowing images of people and places flickered in the air. Some were familiar, dreams he had once had as a child. Others were terrifying, creatures and storms, worlds burning, voices screaming. "Do not be afraid," Sarathia said softly. "These are the truths of the mind, the fears you carry within. Face them and you may survive the night. Turn away and you will be lost." Eli focused on his breathing. He had trained for situations like this, though never anything like this. He told himself that these images were not real. They were shadows, reflections of fear and doubt. He forced his mind to stay calm, to watch without panic. The first vision faded. Then another appeared. It was a scene from his childhood, a moment when he had been powerless, unable to help someone he loved. He saw his sister, hurt and afraid, and he could not reach her. The feeling of helplessness hit him like a punch to the chest. He wanted to turn away, to shut his eyes, but he forced himself to stay. "You see yourself clearly," Sarathia said. Her voice was near him now, though he could not see her. "Do you understand your fear?" "Yes," Eli said. "I understand it. I will not let it control me." Another vision appeared, this time of war. Explosions, fire, and chaos surrounded him. He saw himself and his fellow soldiers struggling to survive. He felt the fear of death, the weight of responsibility, the despair of losing friends. His body shook, but he did not close his eyes. "You are strong, human," Sarathia said, "but strength alone is not enough. You must also see hope in the darkness." Eli focused on the memories of hope he carried, the small acts of kindness, the friends who had survived, the moments when courage had made a difference. Slowly, the visions of destruction began to fade, replaced by light. Not the golden light of the chamber, but a warm, comforting light that came from within him. The darkness lifted. Eli opened his eyes. He was no longer on the glowing platform, but still inside the chamber. Sarathia stood before him, her golden eyes watching him closely. Her expression was unreadable, but he thought he saw a hint of approval. "You faced your fear," she said. "Many cannot do that. You have passed the first test." Eli felt a wave of relief, but he knew the night was far from over. "What comes next?" he asked. "The second test is of truth," she said. "You will speak to me honestly. You will tell me your thoughts, your desires, your weaknesses. You will not lie, not even to protect yourself." Eli nodded. Honesty had never been his problem, though the idea of speaking openly to the Queen of the Vorn was intimidating. "I am ready," he said. Sarathia studied him for a long moment. Then she gestured to a seat in the chamber. "Sit, speak, and do not hide." Eli obeyed, sitting on the smooth crystal floor. He felt the energy of the chamber flowing around him, and it was both frightening and comforting. He took a deep breath. "I came here because I wanted to understand," he said. "To see the world as it is. To see you, to see your people, to learn what makes you strong. I do not seek power. I do not seek glory. I only want to understand." Sarathia nodded slowly. "And you will. But understanding requires more than words. It requires courage, honesty, and patience." "I have courage," Eli said.
"I will not hide."
"I will not lie. I will face whatever comes." "Good," she said. "You understand the meaning of this night better than most. Now tell me, what is your greatest fear?" Eli thought carefully. "My greatest fear is failing. Failing those I care about, failing to protect them, failing to make a difference. I fear that I'm not enough when it matters most." Sarathia's eyes softened slightly. "A human fear, simple yet powerful. You are honest, and that is rare. Many fear to admit weakness even to themselves." "And what is your desire?" she asked. "To do good," Eli said. "To help, to survive, to leave a positive mark. Not for fame, not for reward, but because I cannot live with myself if I do nothing." The Queen considered this. "You are not like others who come before me. Others see only what they want or what they think they need. You see what is right. That may be why you survived the night." Eli felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had faced fear. He had spoken honestly, and he had survived. Yet he sensed that Sarathia was still testing him. Still watching, still learning. The room shifted again. The light grew brighter, surrounding them both. Eli realized the chamber was not just a place, it was alive, connected to the queen in a way he could not understand. He could feel her thoughts brushing against his, not as words, but as feelings. He sensed curiosity, amusement, and something softer, perhaps admiration. "You are not afraid of me," she said. "You respect me, but you do not fear me. That is unusual." "I respect power," Eli said, "but respect is not the same as fear. I will not let fear control my actions." Her smile returned, this one small but real, and it made the golden light of her eyes glow even brighter. "Then you may survive this night, human. But know this, the tests are not over. The night of truth has many layers. Fear and honesty are only the beginning. You must also face desire, temptation, and choice. Only then will you see whether you are truly ready." Eli nodded, his heart steady despite the tension in his chest. He had come here to understand, to survive, to see the queen not as a monster but as a ruler and a being unlike any he had known. The night stretched before him, full of challenge and mystery, but he felt ready. For the first time, he sensed that the queen saw him not as prey, not as a visitor, but as something different. Something worth noticing. The chamber hummed, the lights danced, and the first stage of the night of truth had ended. But Eli knew the next stage would be even harder, testing not just his mind, but his heart. The night had only begun.